If you're coming over from the video I just put out for starting a freelancing company or a small business, and then I talked about forming a LLC or an S Corp or starting as a sole proprietor or as a partnership, then I hope that this video helps you to find out how to actually incorporate and form an LLC or apply for an S Corp and a C Corp type setup. If you're just jumping over here newly and you did not watch that video, then I will link it here down below, or I'll have it as an end card for you guys to check out. What I'm going to do in this chat is I want to show you guys how to form an LLC, and with that, you're probably also going to find out that the links and websites to form a S Corp and a C Corp are all within the same area. So the key component to this is understanding that when you want to form a corporation, usually you have to do it with the Secretary of State for your state. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys that here in a minute, but before I do, please do subscribe to our channel. I would very much appreciate it, and I think you guys will too, with the content that we're putting out and how personalized we can be. So if you have any questions, if you subscribe and send it to us, we'll answer it as quickly as we can. So again, please do subscribe. Now let's jump into it so I don't kill any more of your time. And let's check it out here. So let me switch over to the browser. All right. So forming a corporation is not that difficult. If you've done the research already and you know that you want to form an LLC, then you are going to have to pay incorporation fees. Usually it's, depending on the state you're in California, I think the initial fee for the application was like $45 or $70. I forgot what it was. Some states only charge like $20 or $25. Now in California, it does have an annual minimum taxation that you're going to be charged every year, and I think that was $800. But every state's different. So let me show you guys really quickly the California State Secretary of State. So let's go California Secretary of State, and where I would go if I'm looking to find the documentation and the application material. So if I go to the Secretary of State website, which is the sos.ca.gov, then through this website, I can find all of the necessary information to apply for an LLC and all the information for how to do it myself. That's the key. If you want to save money on forming your own company, then you need to learn how to do it yourself. Even if it's your first time forming a company, it is not that hard, okay? You can save hundreds of dollars by doing it yourself if you just take the time to figure it out. Now, if you are not interested in doing it yourself and you have a little bit of extra money to put into having somebody do it professionally, there are a lot of companies out there that support that. So let's just look up really quickly Llc Formation, and let's see what pops up. So here we go, $49 low-cost LLC formation. And then it looks like you have to also pay your state fees. That makes sense. Inc. file, LegalZoom. LegalZoom's a huge one. The very first time I formed an LLC, I was very close to using LegalZoom for help. And when I ended up reaching out to them, asking them questions, I did not like the answers I got. They didn't provide me with enough information. And I ended up talking to a few people I know who have begun businesses before, and they informed me that the best thing to do is just do the research myself, go to the SOS website, and get the documentation, submit it on my own. So that's what I did, but let me show you guys these. So if they're actually charging only $45, that's not bad. It's going to save you the time and effort to do the research and all of this, and if they do it well, great. So let's see, this is Zen Business. They offer low-cost LLC formation and pay as little as $0 to start, plus state fees. So state fees are the cost to actually apply for a formation of an LLC, okay? So let's take a look at what this company does. I think that's cool if they're different. Let's see. So standard 3 to 4 weeks plus state fees. It's off the lowest prices. And registered agent services. So somehow they are offering a completely free service to submit your application. Of course, they're going to charge you for the actual fees. They're not going to pay that for you. That makes complete sense. but somehow they're offering it completely free, but you have to wait 3 to 4 weeks for it to go through. I think that's interesting. I don't think that's bad at all, actually. Let's see. Here's what you'll get for free. So they'll search for your name. That's pretty cool. So they'll do some research to find out if that DBA is taken or the doing business as is taken, or if there's another business in your state with the same name. You can easily do that on your own. So if you go back to the SOS website and you go to the business tab, there should be business entities. Let's see. There should be a search option in here. There we go. Business search with free images. Let's click on that one. So business search. If I want to start a company, the first thing I need to do before forming and sending in my applications, I want to do some groundwork research to find out if my company name already exists. So let's say I want to start a company. Edge Technovations is one of mine. I would look that up as an LLC, do my search, and you can see that mine does exist here. And I'm the only one under Edge Technovations that exists on here, all right? So that's pretty awesome. Nobody else in California runs that name. That's how you would generally do a search. Now, this company is going to do it for you for free. As you saw, it was not hard for me to do it because I know where the resources are. It took me like 30 seconds to find it, right? Now you know where they are too, so if you want to do that search, you can do it for free. Next, company filing they do for free. So you answer some questions and they'll submit the articles of incorporation. This is the basic application for an LLC. But they'll also cover any other necessary paperwork, which is really cool. Okay. Excuse me. So I think that's pretty awesome. Again, that's really easy to find too. So if we go back and take a look at the original page here, let's see, LLC statements of information, corporation statements, register or terminate a business. There's a link. So now how do we register an LLC? So as you can see, the actual Secretary of State website's not very clear. They don't do a good job at making this a very cookie cutter process. But let's see, how do I form a business entity in California? This is very convoluted. I wish they just had like a application page and they took you through a form. Oh, I want to create an LLC, rather than having to go through this. How do I form a business entity? Oh, I have to read through this giant wall of text and decide, oh, I'm a limited liability company. That means I need to file an article of organizations, LLC-1. There's no link to it here, which makes it complex too. So now how do I find that file? Luckily, I've been through this process, so I do kind of know how to do that. Let me just see where their link is to their forms. So they usually have a link. Here's the forms link. And California Domestic, Articles of Incorporation. So this is the form they're talking about. It looks like the actual filing fees have gone up since the last time I formed. I think it was $70 or $75 at that time. But now I can click on this fillable PDF. It provides me with the instructions and the exact data that they want from me. So Articles of Incorporation of a general stock company. I think we need one that's for an LLC. So let me just keep going down. Limited liability company. There we go. Oh, okay. It is $70. Ha! I did know it. So the first thing that you need to do if you want to file for a LLC is you need to download this form. Here's a fillable. Fill it out, and then you can mail it in. I don't think they have a submission with California online, unfortunately. So you still do have to mail it. Let's see. Filing fee, $70. Faster service. So you can pay an extra, $15, and they'll process your application faster. I think it only took like 2 weeks for them to process mine, and then maybe an extra week. And like in all, it took like 3 weeks, and I received mail back certifying it was a paper with a stamp on it that said that it was approved. Okay, I could probably find that somewhere. Actually, I could probably find it if I look at my the lookup we just looked at a minute ago. So you will also have to pay if you want them to send a copy back to you. They will not send that copy back to you with a stamp if you do not pay for it. So just note that. Anyways, this is all you need. So here's a cover sheet, and this is the important document here. You need to mail this sheet in And if you mail this in, they will process it. Of course, you have to put the payment in there. I think I submit a check with it, or I paid by credit card and they had a credit card sheet. I don't remember. But this is how you would apply in California. Now, other states are significantly more easy. So let's look at the Secretary of State for Texas. All right. So if you live in Texas and you want to form a corporation, again, you do it through the Secretary of State. So immediately they all try to form a easy way to do this. I know Texas is trying to expand their businesses and trying to get people to come out there and do business. So it looks like they've made it a little bit more easy. Let's see, starting a business, and let's see, LLCs. So nonprofit is not what we're looking for. We're looking for series LLCs. What is a series LLC? Form is an LLC that provides documents for establishment of members. I think this is a regular LLC. But let me just double check. So before formation, name issues, series LLCs. I think they made it a little bit more complex than it needs to be. Let's just take a look at business forms, business and nonprofit forms, and let's see, limited liability company. So certificate of formation, limited liability. Here we go, application for registration. And it looks like they actually offer online filing. And it looks like we're probably going to want this one. That's what I'm suspecting. So let's take a look at what this form is as a PDF. And let's also go to SOS Direct, because it seems like they're trying to make this really easy and allow you to actually apply directly through their websites. I think Massachusetts, where I'm living right now, allows you to do this too, which is awesome. I haven't tried it. I think Nevada lets you do it too, which Nevada has some great tax benefits for LLCs and just some great incorporation benefits overall. So you should definitely check those out. Let's just take a look at what this form looks like. So this is a certificate of formation for an LLC. And it's a little bit longer than the California document, but it looks relatively the same. So they want to know who your agent and registered office registered agent is, and office. I think you could probably make this a house address or a P.O. box. I don't know if Texas requires you to have a brick and mortar location. Probably not. That'd be kind of weird to me. A registered agent always required. You can actually sign it yourself, I believe. So this one says it cannot be the entity name above. But I think it can be you personally. And I don't necessarily recommend that. I personally used an attorney for it. And that was because I wanted somebody to be there to receive my actual documentation. It doesn't mean they're actually in any sort of ownership for the company. It's just that they're the ones who formed or filed the paperwork, and then they're able to receive and kind of process your professional information as well. So that's not a big deal. You can just put somebody you know if you wanted to, or you can actually pay somebody for registered agent services. A lot of these companies, like Zen Business right now, will be a registered agent for you. So I think in here, let's see, did they say they'll be a registered agent for free? Yeah, looks like it. So they offer the lowest prices for standard business formation and registered agent services. Okay, so it looks like they do charge for being a registered agent. $10 a month. I think that's expensive, but it just depends on you. So if you need a registered agent, I don't think that's bad. I think that's a bit pricey, but not a big deal. You can afford that. It's like 2 cups of coffee, or depending on how much the coffee costs. If you make coffee at home, okay, it's a lot of coffee. It's like eating out once, right? I think even Chipotle now costs like $8 for a burrito or one of their bowls. And McDonald's, you can't get a meal for cheaper than like $8 or $9. So it's one meal eating out. Don't do it. Just pay it per month. I think that this company is pretty cool. I think that's awesome that they're offering this for free. Now, like I said, submitting it myself, I was able to do it immediately, and that was mailing it, snail mailing it to California, or in California, from San Diego to Sacramento, and then within like 3 weeks, I got the confirmation that I was formed. If the state has a web-based submission service like Texas does with SOS Direct, then you could probably get it finished in a day, and you don't have to pay anything other than your filing fees. With a company like Zen Business, for 1 to 2 weeks, you're paying $50. And then for these other kind of quicker ones, you're looking at a much more expensive fee. LegalZoom, again, big company out there. Let's see what their costs are. So, Business, LLC. Their packages start at $79 plus the filing fees. And they do provide a bit of help, a little bit of kind of clarity of mind. They'll tell you exactly what information you need. And I think they will also file your statement of information, which is not hard to do, especially with an online platform. We can go back to the California website, which I know a little bit better. And you can see here forms for LLCs. And the Articles of Organization was my initial application. And then a statement of information is due within 90 days of your first registration or application. Registration. So after they confirm that you've been registered, within 90 days, you have to fill out the statement of information. And then every 2 years, you're supposed to update it so that they know where you're located, they know who's there and who's leading the company, etc. And then every year, there's the other documentation you have to do, like your annual minutes meetings and stuff like that. But that's not a big deal. Again, I think LegalZoom will charge you additionally to do that. And Zen Business, I think, will include that, it looks like. Let's see. So EN. Whoa. Okay. So they're charging you to get an EN. If you guys form a company, even if you don't form a company, I think you can get an EN either way. Because even as a sole proprietor, I want to say you can get an EN. Let's see. Sole proprietor. I may be wrong because you can just use your social instead of an EN. But let's see. Without employees who doesn't file any excise or pension. Okay, so it may be the case where when you actually, if you're running a sole proprietorship or a partnership and you actually do turn into a company that has employees, at that point you can file for an EIN. I know as an LLC, I got an EIN immediately so that I can basically file for bank accounts and get, I used it for my payroll, and then I also used it for my government IDs and my government registration with basically any kind of government bidding platforms out there. So you can do that for free. I'm going to show you guys how. So filing for an EIN is free and it's really fast. It's an online application. You just hop on here. You can apply online. And usually within a day or two, you have your EIN. Even same day if you apply during normal business hours. So that's something which is free. Of course, websites like this and businesses like this will charge you for it because they're trying to make money. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's that simple, guys. You don't have to pay a company like LegalZoom or Zen Business. If you're so busy that you can't do it, okay, I think using LegalZoom and having a guarantee that they're going to fill out the documentation correctly is amazing, especially if you're too busy getting new business for your company, then I totally understand. That is one reason I would do it nowadays. If I know for a fact I'm going to be busy all day and I don't want to take a few hours to go and track down this paperwork, fill it out, I'm just going to file this with somebody else and I'll have one of my partners take care of that whole documentation with LegalZoom or Zen Business or whoever I go with. In any case, if you have any questions on how to file your LLC or S Corp or C Corp, please do ask. Put them in the comments below or send us a message. We'll try to help you and navigate you to the correct location. Most of the time, just know that you can just go to the Secretary of State website for your state, and they will have that information on there for you. It may require a little bit of digging around to find where the documents are, kind of like I did for the Texas website, but it just depends on the state. For example, I think the Massachusetts Secretary of State, website. I think that one was pretty easy. Let me take a look. So here we go. Man, I do not like these giant buttons. Let's go ahead and take a look at corporations. They've got some warnings right there. Okay, so you can search a corporate database. And let's see, corporations. That's the same website. Oh, it's not that clear. But here we go. Filing methods. File online. Is there an apply? Let's see what file online gives us. So if you are forming a new entity, click here. Okay. A partnership, LLC. So we're looking at a domestic LLC. Let's take a look. And it looks like I could do the entire form here online. It took me, what, a minute of perusing? But man, their minimum fee is an arm and a leg here. That's $500 just to apply? Wow. Massachusetts, it's expensive. I'm kind of curious, is that right? Massachusetts LLC formation cost. $500. Woo! That's expensive, okay? Let's see, what was the Texas cost? Let's see, $300 up front from Texas. California, you submit the $70 for the application, and then I believe it's minimum of $800 afterwards or something like that. That's going to be your annual. So most businesses must also pay an $800 franchise tax, and that does change depending on your guys' profitability and income, I believe. But man, whew, that is a lot of money here. Let's see, what is Nevada's? So Nevada LLC formation cost. $425, so $75 for your initial application, $200 for a state business license, and $150 for initial list of Wow. That seems pretty steep. I guess that's not bad. If you're starting a business, that's not too bad. And at least if you know how to do it for free, it's at least puts the power in your hands, and you don't have to pay for a service fee. What is Delaware's? Delaware LLC formation cost. Let's see. Whew, I like Delaware. $90. Filing fee paid to the Division of Corporations. If you hire, okay, that's if you're hiring someone. Huh, let's take a look at the Delaware SOS. So, I know I was about to end this, and I'm going way over now. But I got sidetracked, right? Delaware, Secretary of State, Division of Commonwealth. Is that what it said? Corporations, got it. So, Delaware.gov, this is their website. Right away, they like forming companies, and they probably have I bet you they probably have the most companies formed with them because of their legal benefits to forming with them. I'm not going to look that up right now. I was going to look at the statistics of how many companies are filed there and actually are there. But let's take a look. So filing an annual report and pay business tax entity. Instructions, that's not what we're looking for. Let's see. LLC. So. Oh, you guys can't read that. Sorry. So you pay an annual tax of $300. That's at least better than $800 in California. And there are some penalties if you don't pay. That makes sense. What about services to file for a company? Let's see. Can we find it? That's filing an annual report online. corporate forms. Let's look at entity type. Let's get limited liability. Oh, Llc Formation. Okay. So, annual tax is $300. The fee to file. Okay, so in order to file an LLC with the state of Delaware, to form basically a Delaware LLC or Delaware Corp, let's see, it's $90. Then you'll receive a stamped copy. You have the $300 annual. That doesn't seem too bad. Now, I'm curious, can you just apply online? I want to say you can. I bet you that website I was just looking at allows you to file directly through them. Well, let's see. Template only, execution block. So here's a fillable. Wow, that's a really simple form. You just kind of put in your name, probably a registered agent, a registered office, a liability company. So here's your actual office, and here's your registered agent. Standard form to submit for an LLC. Now, do they allow you to do it online? Maybe I just missed it here. So my problem is what does UCC stand for? And I'm going to feel stupid in a minute when I find this. UCC filing. Let's see. Secretary of State, UCC. What does it stand for? Uniform Commercial Code? Is that what that is? I think that's what it is. If you guys know what that means, please do let me know. But okay, here we go. Under information, they have how to form a new business entity. Choose your business entity. There's a registration flow chart. One-stop business registration and licensing system, which is down for maintenance at this time. Nice. Okay. So let's just follow their flow chart here. You determine the business type. Great. We want an LLC. We're not going to be a sole proprietor. So obtain a federal EIN. If yes, step 3, decide your business name. Will you be a sole proprietor? If no, go to step 2. Obtain a FEIN, okay, which is the EIN we talked about with the IRS. File the legal entity with Delaware Division of Corporations. Huh, interesting. For being a popular state to apply for LLC, they did not make it very clear. The best way I would do is I'd just mail it in because I found their forms. But if this is the actual website that allows you to one-stop go here and submit an application, then this would be great if it were alive, but it's not right now. So I'm going to assume that you actually have to do it manually, and that's how you do it for Delaware. Again, I just went on a tangent here. I didn't mean to. But either way, I hope that helps. Now you guys know you go to the Secretary of State website for your state or the state you want to apply for an LLC in, and all of the information's there. You don't have to pay LegalZoom or any of these other business websites or attorneys to actually file your LLC. You may want to talk to a tax professional or a business attorney to figure out what the best entity type is for you, but you can do it yourself. All right. If you want to find out information about your local city, restrictions or requirements for business licenses, then what I recommend you do is just look up the city name. So, for example, I lived in East County, San Diego for a little while, and the best way of doing that is to, let's see, let's go ahead and type in City of El Cajon. And then I'm going to add in business license here because I want to find a business license information. And immediately I can find the first website or the first link that comes up is that information. And within here, I can see a whole bunch of links which relate to it. Let's see. I want to apply for a business license. Man, they are making it easy. Then again, I've applied for this once before, so I know where it is. The city of San Diego also has a business license website, which is pretty simple and straightforward like this. But this is how you would find out if your local city requires it too. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments down below. And I hope you guys have a good one. Please do subscribe. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.